Alright, we're going at it again. So I just made this video, so I'm going to try and make this one a little bit quicker because the last one was like 30 minutes and it should not have been 30 minutes. But, so what are my thoughts on AI and how all this shit is going to unfold? I don't think it's going to be pretty. I think there's a lot of lazy fucks out there. This is going to, listen, I'm saying all this in the most like humble way possible. I'm just going to give that disclaimer once. I don't think well, I do think I'm special actually. I do think I'm special, but not like that special that I'm above anybody else or like exempt from bullshit or anything like that. I just want to get that clear. So anyways, it's not going to be pretty for a lot of the lazy fucks. Like a lot of the people I talk to, I'll be like, hey, have you used ChatGPT? Do you know what ChatGPT is? Da 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 da. And they'll be like, no. Or like, yeah, I've seen it on the news, but I've never used it. Everybody that's like that, fucked. You're fucked. You're done. You're done for. It's over, pretty much. Because, like, here's the thing. How has the entire world revolved around AI for the last 3 years, and your stupid ass hasn't done more than fucking, oh yeah, oh, that's interesting, and move on. But whatever stupid shit it was you were doing before. Because, like, that's never made sense to me. But anyways, I'm going to leave that at that. More on topic. If you go and look, Paycom recently laid off like 500 people, which is almost 6% of their workforce. And that's a testament to what I haven't said it on the channel, but what I've been saying to a lot of people in real life, that this shit is not going to be pretty. There's a lot of jobs, and well, let me say this first. At the end of the day, this is capitalism. Shit is not sweet. Nobody gives a fuck if you're unemployed. Nobody gives a fuck if you don't think you're making enough money. Like, do better. Straight up. So, anyways, Paycom laid off 500 people, almost 6% of their workforce, that were responsible for what they called back office tasks. So, to an AI automation person, when you say back office tasks, that to me sounds like things like document sorting, help desk ticket routing, text extraction from documents. If you get like a lot of pictures of documents, somebody has to sit there and transcribe that. And so jobs like that are not skilled, it's really not rocket science to do those, but they just take a lot of time. So obviously you had to have somebody to do those things. Those jobs are done. Data entry, all that's just dead. Dead plan. If that was your plan, if you haven't realized already, that's just bad. You gotta do better. So, and I said this in the last iteration of the video, even if the current level of intelligence of AI just stops, it was just going completely sideways, the scaffolding and capabilities that we're building around AI is still going up like this. So, reality is we've got intelligence going up like this, and then we've got the tool scaffolding going up like this. So like I said, even if the shit went sideways and the scaffolding just went like this, the capabilities of AI would still increase, not exponentially, I wouldn't say, but considerably. That's the main limitation that prevents a lot of stuff from being automated by AI. So yeah, I mean, trivial tasks and jobs like that, data entry and shit like that, it's done. And I will say that this started happening a lot sooner than even somebody in the trenches of this shit, is anticipating. And when I say in the trenches, I mean like I'm on the bleeding edge. Like I'm on Reddit every day, all day. I'm on forums every day, all day. I'm writing code every day, all day, automating shit and creating AI agents and stuff like that. So I am aware of where the developments and the new emerging capabilities and stuff like that are coming from, but to see, and I also said this in the last version of the video, but like the trickle-down effect from F1 cars. If you're not familiar with that, basically a lot of the car companies will use like experimental race and performance technology in their F1 cars, and obviously if it performs well, and then given enough time where the cost of production and parts and all types of materials and whatever, basically as soon as everything becomes to a degree where it's consumer friendly enough, that technology will trickle down into the consumer road cars. So like electric turbos, for example, were initially in F1 cars, but now in a lot of the newer Benzes and shit like that, you get an electrically assisted turbo. So anyways, point being that there's a lot of cutting edge technologies that are out there but have not yet been implemented at a massive scale. Again, being trickled down from Formula One to consumer technologies. So seeing Paycom make a big ass move like this was even astounding to me, because I didn't realize that the technology had already trickled down at that level. I mean, that, granted, that is the most, like I said, the most fundamental and trivial level, but it was still incredibly, incredibly fast to me. And the overwhelming majority of businesses obviously still have not even adopted this, even though the overwhelming majority of businesses probably could and would adopt this. So yeah, it's starting a lot sooner than I had anticipated, but it's not going to stop anytime soon. And this is the same thing I tell a lot of the people I talk to. This is the worst the technology is ever going to be. It's never going to get worse. ChatGPT 6 is not going to be more retarded than ChatGPT 5. Like, what the fuck sense does that even make? And that's the argument that a lot of the people come to me with, is like, oh, well, AI can't do this, that, and the third. For now, go back, and that's what I tell them. Go back and look where AI was 1 year ago. You would, at the scale of normal technology, looking at AI a year ago is like looking at a fucking, like, CRV, whatever the fuck the vacuum monitor thing is, that if you hit the shit with the bat, it makes like a big ass boom and gas and shit comes out the monitor. That's like looking back a year in AI. Like, that's how fast the shit is moving, and that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand. And so in terms of like where things are for unskilled trivial labor, it's done. I think I've made that fairly clear, that that's my opinion there. In terms of more skilled labor, yes, it is going to boost people's efficiency. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, I don't want to use AI. Like I said, this is capitalism. Nobody gives a fuck. You're going to use AI and be more efficient, or you're not going to be there. You're not going to be working there. Straight up. It's one of the two. Shit is not sweet. And so all the people that's like holding off on learning, and that's the other thing, is it's not even just, okay, well, I use AI, yeah. But do you know how to actually, truly, properly leverage AI? Do you understand context? Do you understand context management? Do you understand prompt engineering? Do you understand that if you cuss at the model, it literally will perform better? Like, there's so many nuanced things to actually leveraging these, and just like driving a car. Yeah, you could hop on a fucking moped and go from A to B, or if you really wanted to know how to drive, like really drive, then you would study what an F1 driver does. And that's the difference that I'm referring to whenever I'm saying like people that know how to use AI versus people that know how to use AI. And there is a noticeable discrepancy there. So, but there's going to be people that are going to augment themselves and enhance their abilities and learn faster by leveraging AI. And then there's the people that, like I said, they're either too lazy and caught up in whatever the fuck bullshit they got going on, or they think they're above AI and that it's not going to touch them and they don't need to bother with it. And then you've got the people like myself that are maximizing on this AI shit. I am learning at an unprecedented rate. I am better than I've ever been, and only learning faster and faster. And people like me are going to be the ones to run over all the rest of the people. Like I said, this shit is not sweet, peeps. So yeah, I mean, that's that. And as for what's going to happen whenever AI does hit an intelligence level that it's capable of replacing skilled jobs, I don't know. That's a great question. That's one I've been like really trying to figure out, but like the only conclusion I can really come to is universal basic income. Which is like, if AI became so advanced and robotics became so advanced that all the resources to live just became so abundant and cheap and easy to acquire, then nobody had to work, pretty much everybody would just get like a check for the same amount. Like everybody would get the same amount every month. And yeah, that's like basically communism, more or less. I'm not a fan. I'm sure the United States would not be a fan, so I don't know what the world would look like at that point. But then you also run into the problem of like individuals having existential crises, because I know if I like, obviously that's a lot of people's end goal is to like retire and not do shit, but like I don't know, I gotta be doing shit. Like I want to be doing shit, and if I only had, or if I like had the ability to only do the things that I wanted to do, I feel like I would run out of things that I wanted to do type shit. So like then you also run into the problem of like purpose. Like, why are people even here at this point if not to struggle type shit. Like that sounded really terrible, but you get the point. But yeah, I don't know on that front. Then you got the issue of like colleges, because the college curriculum is not adapting at a rate fast enough to include AI, and a lot of the people in college are not. This is going to sound again kind of degrading, but a lot of the people in college are not in college because they know how to teach themselves. They know how to acquire knowledge themselves. They know how to self-direct. They're not in college because of that, unfortunately, the overwhelming majority of people. So until AI is included in their college curriculum and they're sat down and spoon-fed, here's how you use AI properly, none of them are going to know shit. Like, half of them don't even know their own fucking job to begin with, excluding AI entirely, let alone how to do their job whilst leveraging AI properly. So that's a whole other dilemma. But it is going to open up a lot of opportunities for a lot of people that are actually driven and self-guided and self-directed, because now, like I said, knowledge is acquirable at an ungodly rate. Like, we've never seen it in history. So yeah, I mean, I think that's really like all the major points. As for like my predictions of AI, like I said, it's just not going to be pretty. This shit is going to fuck over a lot of people, but it is what it is, really. And it's hard for me to even feel bad, because you got to think, like, a lot of these people, I'm 23, so like I've been functioning like a functional adult. I got to do something with this hair. I need another haircut, but like I've only been a functional adult for like 5 years. And you got to think, like, a lot of these people is 30, 40, 50 years old. So my question is, what is their excuse? And I know, again, that sounds insensitive, but like, I don't care. I seriously don't care. I don't care that you decided to have a kid at 18. That's not my problem. That's not my fault. Why should the world slow down because of you? Like, I don't care that you were depressed for the last 5 years. It's not my problem. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got all these people that's so old. They've had so much time as a functional adult to build skills, to build a career, to build a skill set. And they just haven't. And but that's what I'm saying. Those are the people that are getting replaced. It's not people that are, 30 and or 20 and 30 years into their career, like a skilled career. And those are not the people getting replaced. Not yet, at least. Like I said, there will come a time where a single man can run an entire company from AI, like one individual. But until we hit that point, it's really only the unskilled people and the people that are, and that's what some of the people in my work group chat were saying, was like, oh, well, this is horrible, da 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 da. And, well, you're not supposed to replace people, you're supposed to augment them. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Absolutely, I agree with you. But at the end of the day, if all you know how to do is put fucking type words into an Excel spreadsheet, and that's the extent of your technological, like, capability, how are you going to upskill somebody like that into a position where they can actually leverage AI to increase efficiency? You have to have a skill to be able to do that. You have to be doing something more complex than what the AI model is doing to be able to actually leverage that. And so that's what I was telling them. I'm like, you can't just upskill these people. You can't just take again, gonna sound terrible. You can't just take a fucking peasant and boom, all of a sudden he's now a fucking like AI developer or a content creation specialist or anything like that. You just cannot do that. And that's what I'm saying. For AI to have been out as long as it is, and for as few people to have paid attention to it as they have, especially the people know what type of position they're in. Like, you can't be that oblivious to the fact that there's 23-year-olds driving around in C8 Corvettes. Meanwhile, you're driving around here in a fucking beater Toyota Sienna. And again, this is not to like put anybody down or like discredit anybody. I understand life is not predictable. But at the same time, there's no excuse. Like I said, for you to have had that much time, you voluntarily fucked off. And you cannot contest or debate that with me. You mean to tell me you've been over 18 for fucking 15 years and all you can do is use Excel? Like, I don't give a fuck if your fucking grandma's dying, you got a retarded kid, and your wife is fucking blind, deaf, and mute like Helen Keller. Even then, that's no excuse. 15 years. There's no way you don't make progress unless you don't want to. So, yeah, I mean, that's the harsh reality. And like I said, a lot of the college people are also not in a great boat. And a lot of the people in the active workforce are also not in a great boat. But the rate of progression of things, I don't know. It would be, you can catch up, I would say, like you can stay afloat, but if you haven't already started a specialization or started a career, it's going to be really tough. And I don't know if I've already touched on this in this video. If I have, well, 2 tears in a bucket, but entry-level jobs are going away. Like I said, that the current intelligence level is high enough to replace the bottom of the totem pole. And so the problem with that is, where do you go when you graduate college then? Where do you go when you graduate high school even? Because this would have been a problem for me personally, like, even though I skipped college. Where do you go? Like I said, there's no more entry-level positions. Where do you start? And I don't have answers to this. I don't know, but it is an incredibly interesting dilemma. Because, like, and that's what I'm saying, they are increased, fuck these fucking trucks. They are increasing people's ability to be more productive by leveraging AI, but like I said, they're simultaneously replacing the bottom of the totem pole. Because you have to have a skill to be able to leverage AI to boost efficiency. Otherwise, if it can just do the task, that's called a replacement, not a boost. So they're getting rid of all these entry-level positions, and they're hiring for more higher, I don't know exactly how you would phrase that, like higher skill level, like a higher skill level position in that role. So that person can oversee whatever AI agent is doing the base level shit, and they can leverage more AI to boost their efficiency and do whatever their set of tasks is. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone by hiring 1 employee. So, yeah, I feel like I've iterated pretty much all of my important points and perspectives on that. Like I said, there's a lot of shit that is just like so many variables, I can't even formulate a cohesive and logical prediction. There's just not enough information and not enough. You just have to wait for shit to unfold, basically. Like, you just don't know. You never know. But like I said, I am extremely confident that it's going to get pretty bloody in terms of the workforce and pretty much just making money in general. Like, unless you have a skill, like I said, it's not going to be pretty. And okay, here's one thing I haven't touched on is physical labor. A lot of people think the physical labor is safe too, but this is what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Because you mean to tell me, and I've always kind of had this problem, but it's becoming increasingly funny to me that it's now a thing. Because all the, like, blue-collar people always hated me. I'm from, like, a small Texas town. And so they always hated me because I like make as much money as them, but I sit in the fucking AC all day. And so you've got people like uh, welders, the underwater welders, plumbers, roofers, like all these different types of stuff, different types of physical labor. And they seem to think they're exempt from being automated as well. But no, if you're paying attention to robotics, robotics is making substantial strides, just like AI. And it's actually, I would say, become, I think the rate of progression has increased recently due to AI. Because now, before you couldn't have a robot. What do you call it? What do you call it? There's a term for it. Act non-deterministically. Like before, you could not have a robot do things that were unpredictable, like you could with an AI model. Like if a robot was going to do it, it had to be pre-coded before the AI shit. So now that you have AI, and now that not every single thing has to be pre-coded, the potential is just whoosh. And yeah, I mean, the humanoid robots are becoming incredibly affordable, incredibly capable, incredibly coordinated. Like the battery life is becoming a lot better. They're becoming a lot lighter. So I mean, everything is just becoming a lot more viable. And you got to think, like, if you're a welder and you're making $100,000 a year, that's a lot of money to a company. And not only your salary, but then they got to pay your benefits. They got to pay taxes for the employee. They got to pay a lot of shit that at the end of the day, even if they got to pay $500,000, which, mind you, like I said, a lot of these robots is getting mad cheap. If you were to get a humanoid robot and augment that to like do welding shit, it would not cost you $500,000. I highly, highly, highly doubt it. But anyways, even if the robot did cost $500,000 in 5 years, which, yeah, okay, that is like a considerably long time, but when you look at the duration of an individual's career, 5 years is not a long time at all. In 5 years, that robot would have paid itself back. And then the rest would be pure profit, minus whatever electricity it costs to run the robot and maintenance on the robot. That's it. And you maybe have one robot technician per 10 robots. It's not like the shit just breaks every day. I mean, obviously, if it's like a shitty designed robot, then yeah, but for the most part, it's not like the shit's just going to break down every day. And that's what I'm saying. Like, once you build a robot for that specialization, that's it. Once you have, and welding two pieces of metal together is not fucking rocket science. It's not. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to the welding people. It's not hard. Neither is the oil field shit. Neither is roofing. Plumbing, okay, yeah, like you're getting into kind of hard territory, but like even plumbing, I mean, to have the robot roll itself in there, scan through the walls to see the pipe. Oh, yep, here's the leak. Or use thermals and detect. Oh, yeah, well, the pipe is all hot here, but you can see here the little cold spray. And it's like, I mean, any specialized robot designed for a physical labor task is gonna clap the fucking dog shit out of a human. I hate to break it to you. And like I said, financially, it's only becoming more and more viable. So even the physical labor jobs is not safe. I would not say, personally. And I mean, mechanics, being able to just, because that's what I'm saying. All this knowledge is already digital. With the welder, all you got to do is they literally like put a Meta Quest on with which is the VR headset with the remotes, and then the robot, it's called teleoperation, and the robot will mimic your movements and memorize your movements. And so that's what I'm saying, like factory work, done for. A lot of the mechanic work, a lot of the documentation for everything in the owner's manual can be uploaded to the fucking robot. The robot knows, oh yeah, there's this problem and this problem. Oh yeah, it's definitely this system. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna clap humans at everything, at every level. And again, I don't know exactly when the whole robotic automation part will kick in, but I think that's gonna be considerably faster than a lot of the white collar jobs are going. Because at the end of the day, somebody has to design the software for those robots to run on. Somebody has to design the 3D models for those softwares for the robots to be created and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. There's going to be more jobs created because we're going to need more robots than we've ever had, but all those welding jobs are gone. So it's just a matter of reskilling properly. And this video is already 25 minutes now, so I'm gonna cut it off here. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting future. If you got any like questions or anything like that, drop them in the comments. Like I said, or I don't think I've said it in this video, but I have 60 days of videos and shit planned out, both over technical topics regarding AI as well as just more philosophical just discussion topics. So yeah, if you got questions, drop them in the comments. I'll answer them as best as I can. No promises. I'm not a fortune teller, unfortunately. Damn near, from what I've seen so far in my lifetime. But yeah, with that being said, my name is Jaden Prodigy. I'm out.